So Keith Thurman, he out here making all type of noises, and during that interview, he stated that he got offered by ESPN, and it was a short time offer. Basically, it's probably a fight or two, or maybe three, including the Crawford fight. They was trying to set up a mega fight between him and Crawford. Now, Keith Thurman always shitting on Crawford. And it got people thinking that he does not respect Crawford, that he only fears Errol Spence, that he wants to smoke with Crawford. But I highly disagree. I think he would definitely rather take a Crawford fight than an Errol Spence fight. But if you've been paying attention, Keith Thurman, when Danny Garcia was moving up in weight, or he was about to, he told Danny Garcia, he told the public, hey, I welcome Danny Garcia to the welterweight division. You know, this is my division, blah, 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 right? Now, when Crawford did the same thing, he didn't have that energy. He told Crawford, you got to prove yourself at the welterweight division. You got to go get a belt. When he did that, then he told Crawford, you know, you got to fight Amir Khan. You're not really proving. You know, Jeff Horn ain't this, ain't that. You know, shitting on Jeff Horn. Then Lopez almost makes an upset against Keith Thurman. But we're not going to get into that. But all I'm saying basically is Crawford was like, okay, he got Amir Khan in the ring. Whooped his ass as well. Now, what you got to say, Keith Thurman? But like I said, don't try to pay attention and don't try to see the pattern of Keith Thurman always telling the man what to do. And every time they actually do the same thing that he was talking about, he got more to say. But with Danny Garcia, it was a whole different type of energy. You know, he does not keep the same energy with Crawford. He does not keep the same energy with Errol Spence. And it's just abundantly clear he got a different type of respect for Errol Spence and Crawford. And you could definitely see it because he's not keeping the same energy, you know, when it comes to Errol or Crawford. Keith Thurman said in the past, I got an O and I'm not afraid to let it go. But then on another interview, he would say, hey, I got to, you know, watch how my career goes. I got to be careful, or because at the end of the day, you take an L, your paycheck go down a whole lot. So maybe he's not too concerned about the O, but he definitely concerned about the pay. And if your O goes away, you get paid less. So he do care about letting his O go. Because I got another video where I'm going to talk about it more in depth about Keith Thurman, the fall and rise of Keith Thurman. And that's just breaking down certain things like that he said and mentioned in the past. But he always shitting on Floyd, talking about how Floyd never fought Pacquiao till 5 years after, which we know is a Pacquiao fault, not a Floyd Mayweather fault, because he didn't want to take the drug test because he was scared of needles, but he got tattoos, right? Now, moving on from that, Errol Spence been calling him out for like 5 years. He haven't fought Errol Spence since, but during the press conference when Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia was announced, he said that I'm not like Floyd Mayweather. I would not have y'all wait 5 years for a fight. But Keith Thurman, have you realized we've been waiting 5 years? It's about to be 5 years in 220 and you haven't fought Errol Spence? And you ain't even talking about fighting the man. You keep saying, it's my get back year. I mean, after the Manny Pacquiao fight, we done with a get back year, you back. You know what I mean? So when Sean Porter had the belt, he told Sean Porter, I want my belt back. After I get my tune-up fight, I'm coming for my belt. But when it's Errol Spence about to fight Sean Porter and get the belt, nah, it ain't the same energy no more. He's not telling Errol Spence after the Manny Pacquiao, I'm coming back and getting my belt because it belongs here. You didn't beat me, you beat Sean Porter for it. He was just holding my belt. You're not receiving that same energy you're receiving from Keith Thurman when he's fighting Pacquiao now and he's talking all that shit. You know what I mean? So, like I said, at the end of the day, Keith Thurman said when it comes to becoming a Hall of Famer and a legend, you got to be the legend or create your own path. Now, in my opinion, beating a past his prime legend does not count. You know, especially a fighter past 40. When Tommaso beat Sugar Ray Leonard, I didn't really see that as a victory like that because, you know, Leonard was just out of it. You know what I mean? He wasn't saying Sugar Ray Leonard anymore. And Keith Thurman beating Manny Pacquiao, especially if he struggled with him, is going to make Keith Thurman look bad. But he don't got to worry about becoming a legend, because to create his own path, if he needed a Floyd Mayweather or a Manny Pacquiao, the fights he didn't get when they was sort of in their prime, he got them today. It's the Errol Spence and the Crawford of the world. Floyd Mayweather's pound for pound number one, right? Who's pound for pound number one today? Crawford. The same guy who Keith Thurman does not want the smoke from. Who was top 5 pound for pound at the time? Manny Pacquiao, right? Maybe top 3. Errol Spence is that today. He's the number 1 welterweight in the world today. Keith Thurman does not want the smoke. Keith Thurman said that he did everything in his power to make this fight happen with Manny Pacquiao. He would have fought Manny Pacquiao in the Philippines if he had to. He gave him a rematch clause when Manny Pacquiao is not even a champion. Where they do that at? But when it comes to an Errol Spence and a Crawford fight, he's willing to do the opposite thing, which is stall the fight, which is not answer questions, which is get mad, not keeping the same energy. Don't duck me, son. He turned into that man that's on the other side, that's ducking, you know. So it's like, what's going on, Keith? At the end of the day, the fights that define Keith's legacy are the Errol fight and the Crawford fight. If he managed to win one of them fights, not even both, just one, it will define his legacy and he will go down as a legend. But at the end of the day, he got to make them fights happen, and he cannot be ducking or making some crazy demands or styling the fight even more. I mean, like, we've been waiting enough. You know, Keith Thurman, we see him versus Danny Garcia. That was a good fight. Versus Sean Porter, that was a good fight. But those two fighters already been beat. I mean, Sean Porter already got beat by Kell Brook. Danny Garcia, yes, he was undefeated, but he already lost to Herrera in my book. You know, some people even thought Lamar Pearson beat him. So Danny Garcia wasn't even that much of a threat. Matter of fact, the fight was closer than it should have been. You know, Keith Thurman needs an Errol Spence win or a Crawford win to define his legacy. And it seemed like he wants them two fights, especially the Errol Spence fight, to be his last fight. You know, because he said, you know, I ain't afraid to let it go. If you could beat me, beat me. So if he already sees a fighter that got potential to beat him, and he said that, you know, one thing for sure, when you take a L, your pay, you know, cuts in half. He already know that. He ain't trying to get his pay cut in half, man. And he gonna maneuver as much as he can. But like I said, don't shit on past legends that did it for so long and to prove themselves over and over again when you haven't even did 10% of what Floyd Mayweather did. But like I said, that's a video to come, you know, just to counter everything Keith Thurman said about Floyd, and just to prove a point that Keith Thurman does not want to smoke with Crawford and Errol Spence, and he's just not keeping it the same energy with either one. And like I always say, subscribe below if you're trying to get smart about him, and if you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't listen to these casual ass fans. And peace.